Welcome and hello, hello and welcome, welcome and hello, hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me on a very, very special edition of Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more. Actually, it's another, mundane, sleep-deprived edition where we're going to mail it in, tell a few crappy jokes, give some lackluster, meaningless analysis, look at a few charts, and then call it a day. You know the Poco pattern, the old Poco progression. It's a bunch of crap humor with pretty much nothing useful mixed in, but you know, you basically have nothing better to do. You're trying to pass your work day. You're some kind of ineffectual middle management suck up that's just basically trying to hide from Bill Lumberg long enough to sneak away and get a little fishing in on your Sunday because he's going to need you to go ahead and come in on Saturday. Right. So, Peter, what's happening? I see Thomas Puzak is here. Now, if you can't tell, I'm a big fan of the film Office Space. I actually forgot to get an additional mini water. I'll have to go for one. But anyway, guys, welcome and hello and welcome. Thanks for joining me. This is just a thrill to entertain you. Dance, monkey, dance. But anyway, your fat, chunky stock monkey is here, your flunky. I forgot to do my weigh-in 2 weeks ago because frankly, I was eating, stuffing my face down in the Laguna in Newport. I mentioned dining at one of my viewers, his restaurant, David Olea in Newport, which was really good, outstanding. Highly recommend you check it out. But I was stuffing my face, so I got back on track, and it was kind of came full circle. So I was back down to 327. I started at 333, so it's been 2 weeks. And Monday morning, I was down to 327. So that's not that bad, but I kind of like lost 5, gained a couple, lost a couple, whatever. So I'm just trying to get down to 250 so I don't die. That's my goal. But anyway, welcome and hello. Hello and welcome. Yeah, I got to get another mini water. Nautilus is absolutely correct. I'm going to die here. Give me about 2 seconds. I don't want you to see my fat gut, so I'm going to remove myself from the screen. Oh, I'm back. Yippee skippy Handelman. Anyway, I want to talk to you, of course, about Nio. Nio got hammered today for 8%. I think it was actually down. Oh boy, I don't know about was the low 560 today. So, and then the algo just absolutely held it sideways for the rest of the day. And if you look at the chart, after the big fall, and you kind of zoom in on it, you start to see what the game is here. Like it's a ton of green, so like this is clearly a price. I think that market, I don't think retail's rushing in necessarily to buy this dip, though I could be wrong. It just doesn't look like it to me. But the reason I guess I wanted to kind of defend management a little bit is that there's no real great way to raise money. I mean, they're not going to sell bonds. I don't know exactly how things work in China, but you can do like a convertible note. You can just straight up issue debt, which is, I guess, bonds, but it works different ways in different jurisdictions. But of course, the most common way is just a share offering, just sell stock. And that can be done, at the market. It can be done at a predetermined price. It can be done, a number of different ways. They can sell, preferred shares. They can sell common shares. They can sell pre-funded warrants. They can sell, warrants that you have the option to exercise with the shares. There's all kinds of ways you can do it. But the bottom line is it's going to end up diluting the company or loading the company with debt, or sometimes both. So if you look at Nio, they burn a lot of cash, but they're at an inflection point where they finally have some momentum in terms of people actually wanting to buy their cars, which is critical, because you cannot live on swap alone. Like, you need people in the car. And that brings me back to CATL, and CATL really never mentions Nio. It's like They're talking about these sodium ion batteries, which are supposed to be the next big thing. I was shopping for an umbrella. You guys see like what my life is. But CATL's Naxtra sodium ion passes new national safety, and they're basically going to put this into Choco, and they're talking about how fast they're building out Choco. They activated 105 new stations in August alone. So it's the first time they've broken that 100, and they've established 512 now. Choco, they wrote chocolate, but it's Choco swapping stations across 34 cities. Still seems pretty small, but when you're adding, over 100 swaps every single month, even if they just keep up that rate, they'll get to their goal of having 1,000 swaps by the end of the year. So I don't know. They talk about building the biggest swap network in the world with Nio, but I just see the knives out. I don't see them wanting to pay a fair price for everything Nio has brought to the table. I don't know. I just don't have a great feeling about it. When David and Goliath, form a partnership, David usually ends up, Goliath ends up punching David square in both nuts and stealing his lunch money. But, I hope we're not David in that scenario. I hope it actually is a true partnership, but I just have my doubts. Because, if they really wanted Nio, why wouldn't they buy out Nio at a premium? These are the silly games people play. They're talking about the share offering, and you guys have seen this, how it's an 11% discount to the previous close. That's this point here, guys. That's, basically where the stock closed on this big spike on, 21st of August. So you don't know exactly when they priced this thing. They didn't price it today. This has been in the works for a while. Now, the point I was going to make is if you go back on the chart till 18 March 2024, okay, the stock only goes above this 557 level for almost the last 2 years. It's nascent. It's fleeting. It just pops above on these little pops. This is the most convincing one. And this was clearly just a massive, pump and dump. It came back down within a couple days. It tried, it did the exact same thing. It tried to form a little shoulder first here where this petered out, and then here. It tried to make a little bit of a market here at 617, but the algo just smashed it all the way back down to 505. And then it tried to sort of make a market here. Now, to me, given this news and given how little institutional ownership is in Nio and how reactive retail is and how much the market overreacts and the fact that there's a lot of shorts still on the stock, this could have been a lot worse. I think it's clear that this was a predetermined thing, and then institutions came back and bought it. I mean, this is not what a big sell-off looks like. I mean, look at this end of the day. Is this what a panicked sell-off looks like? Just big buys at the end? Green candles all the way through? I mean, vast majority of the big volume is green. You guys can see it. So they're holding this thing. Even just right after the fall, there's not that much volume in this fall. I don't know why I hate these charts. Yahoo. But anyway, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Shocker. In terms of institutional ownership, it's just way too low and going down. Institutions really don't like the stock. The fund sentiment score is terrible. Even the shorts, I think, are just getting tired of the stock, to be honest with you. It's just one of those things where you beat the horse is dead, the horse wakes up, you beat the horse again. It's like, I think they're just tired of sort of the resiliency of retail investors to buy this dip. But if you look at the fact that this stock just popped over this level, less than 2 weeks ago, the fact that institutions are willing to pay, above 550 for a stock that for the last 2 years has been more down in the 3s and the 4s. I know it's at a discount to the previous day's close, but that's just a really short-sighted way to look at a valuation of a company. And if you're honest with yourself, this company just burns a hell of a lot of cash. I mean, and Swap could be profitable, coulda, woulda, shoulda, but I think they've had way too many cars, way too many models, way too much spending, way too many, foolish ventures and sort of vanity projects. And, a lot of this stuff that they have to raise money now, it's just management has to look in a mirror and say, we were far too undisciplined for far too long. And we finally started talking about cost cutting and efficiency and redundancies and all this stuff, really, really late in the game. We're sitting around, tickling our own balls and stroking our egos for years and years and years while we were just incinerating money. And if you think they care about US shareholders, you're crazy. They think we're fat and stupid, and they're right. So anyway, guys, that's all I had on Nio today. I'm going to get back at you with some more videos, but this is the pattern you see. Like, this is why you shouldn't really be afraid of it. The market cap comes right back to where it was or even lower. And you have $1 billion in cash. So the $1 billion in cash basically comes as free. And yes, it's dilution, but you have to decide, do you want to buy the dilution and kind of re-up, kind of get back to what your piece of the pie was before? Are you happy to just eat the dilution? Do you want to sell? Do you want to dump in anger and throw a huge tantrum? Like the Karen that you are? But you see the overreaction. You see, they basically price $1 billion in cash at nothing because the fall in the stock is so severe that the market cap ends up the same as it was right before the offering, and you have the cash in the mix. So it's just kind of the way these things go, and they kind of normalize, goes back up a little bit. Usually, I have no idea really what's going to happen. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean they need the cash. I mean, 10x sounds too much like hygiene. 10x, it's honestly a steal. They just got a new they just picked up a new analyst. I think a couple days ago. It was HC Wainwright. I can't remember. It was a buy at 20. I mean, the history with 10x has been brutal. I mean, I've been through the ringer on that one. The two Roth offerings were some of the worst I've ever seen. But it's clear that institutions believe in the company, believe in the drug, believe in the other drug. I mean, I think the thing's a huge winner, but it takes a hell of a lot of patience. They've got like 3 phase 3 going and a phase 2B. They get so many trials. Get this freaking drug to market already, You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Anyway, so is it an overreaction? Is it a normal reaction? Would the retracement have happened anyway? It looked like the downtrend was broken the last 3 days, but that doesn't really mean anything the way they control the stock tick by tick. I think retail just went from 6 to midnight, and then, as the ED pills wore off, so did our euphoria. But anyway, that's how this game goes, guys. Tiny wings and broken dreams. What the spice of life? I don't know. Fuck you guys. I hate you guys. I'm out of here.